last 6 games all decided 2 possessions or less. All of those without Herbert either without him or without him full speed. I know you can't do anything about that, but do you think about what might have been?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of games would have gone a lot different if we had a healthy Herb all year, but, you can't do anything about it. You talk to our players about control what you can control, so as a coaching staff, we got control what we can control, and we got to get better game plans together to account for the fact that Herb's not able to play like he was, and we're working on it, trying to play him and Galen or him and Javian together a little bit more, not the ideal way we want to play with the way our spacing is, but that's some of our better defensive lineups, so we've got to be able to get stops. If we can get stops, we can get out in transition, which helps our offense in turn too. So, it's not football where we can put a defensive group out and an offensive group. We try to do that at the end of the game a little bit, but we got to figure out ways to keep Herb in, knowing he's going to have to play offense and defense. So, but yeah, in the back of your mind, you always wish you'd had a healthy Herb. I'm certain there would have been a lot of different scores here going through the year.
You talked about wanting to drive more after the game and get some free throws. Just where does that start, though?
I mean, it starts with getting Kyra more back to being more aggressive. When he's aggressive, scoring 37 or getting triple-double, we're a lot better. B, you got to get some other guys that can handle it a little bit too. I mean, with the way A&M played, they kind of, played that kind of trapping a little bit, where the ball had to get out of Kyra's hands. So, you got to get some other playmakers in spots that they can drive the ball in and make a play. And, that's why we want more than one guy that can pass, dribble, and shoot out there. So we got to get Shaq and JP and, other guys making plays too to get the ball in the paint.
You talked about wanting to get the guys comfortable with the threes, and is there, I guess, does that comfort in three do you have to kind of talk them into, it's also a high percentage shot to get the layup or to get the dunk? Or
yeah, I mean, if you really do your homework and you look at how A&M guards, they don't give up layups. They take charges. They give early help. They're one of the best steal teams in the country. Like, they're in the gaps super hard. Like I said going into that game, this may not be a game where you get a paint touch on every possession. If you're trying to get a paint touch and they're running the help all the way up the line in the gap, you just got to throw the ball and we got to take open shots. So, if you want to then drive that, pass up the open three and drive it, you're going to end up with a charge, which is what happens sometimes. So we're going to play aggressive, attacking. We're never going to turn down open threes. You got to take what the defense gives you. A&M gives up tons of threes. I mean, you look at the way they got, I think they were 353rd out of 353 teams at percentage of shots coming from three. And it is what it is. We didn't make enough of them. But I didn't think any of them were really that bad of shots, to be honest with you.
I was going to say, I mean, you have to watch the film. How do you evaluate some of the shots that were taken late? A couple of talked about off the dribble shots, or
yeah, there was a couple that I wish we hadn't taken. A deep one off the dribble, another one off the dribble early in the shot clock. Other than those two, that in my mind, I thought we took about 3 or 4 really good shots and just missed them. I mean, Reese got a great look. No, Reese hit the one. Reese has been a guy that's hit big shots here. I mean, Shaq hit a big shot against LSU. So Shaq missed a few wide open ones that shoot, he hit him against LSU. He hit the big one. So I thought we had a couple guys maybe even passed up. Some good ones that I wish they would have taken, but I thought for the most part they're late. We got decent shots. But our biggest problem late in that game was we didn't get stops. I mean, they scored 4 or 5 straight trips down. We're up 6 with under 4 to go, and they scored, I think, the next 5 straight possessions. So that was where our biggest problem was. We couldn't get stops. If you've got a lead late in the game, as long as you get stops, you're winning the game. Well, we couldn't get any stops. So, again, part of that is Herb sitting on the bench because we're trying to play offense, defense. That's where we just got to figure out our offense with Herb in the game, even if it's with Galen or JD, because he's so good on defense, you got to have him in the game.
In your last 6 or so, I think you're under 5 minutes, either regulation or overtime. You're shooting like 21% from 3. Is that a tired thing, do you think, or is that just a nerves thing? Or
I don't know. That's a great point. My guess is some of it may be fatigue because we've got such a short rotation in the backcourt. Now, Beetle getting healthy and starting to play well, he's going to help that, hopefully. Playing 4 more minutes will help that. We obviously got to find a way to get Kyra off the floor a few more minutes to keep him fresh late. But, yeah, I I don't have an answer for sure, but I hope it's not nerfs. I mean, I think we got big shot makers. I've seen Reese make a bunch of big shots. I've seen Shaq make big shots. I've seen Petty send it to overtime a few times this year. I've seen it, Kyra's made big shots. I think our guys got the wherewithal to hit big shots. I would tend to think it's more fatigue factor, and we got to do a better job making sure their legs are under them late in the game.
How much room for error do you see over these final 5 games before you really force yourself into a spot to make a run in Nashville? Have to make a run.
Yeah, there's very little room for error at this point. I mean, we've done what we've done to ourselves and given away too many close games and put ourselves in a spot where anything, in my opinion, anything less than 4-1, we're probably not getting it outside of a big run in Nashville, like you said. So I also told our guys, like, I'm done talking about the NCAA tournament to them. At this point, like, you try to give them a goal, some light at the end of the tunnel, some hope. At this point, we just need to concentrate on every day. I'm not even, basically, I'm not even going to mention who comes next to our players, and we really haven't done that all year, but let's just concentrate on what we have to do today to get better in practice, and then tomorrow what we have to do, and then one game, and then the next day, and then the next day, and then the next game, and the next day, and we'll get 2.5 weeks from now and see where we're at, and shoot, even at that point, you just got to take them one at a time in the SEC tournament and see what your seed is and do what you can do up there.
Yeah, I
Imagine that.
had a question about tomorrow's game, if
Yep.
that's okay.
Yep.
Their last 3 home games, they've not just beaten South Carolina, Florida, Mississippi State, they've blown them out.
Yeah.
What do you see about the differences in playing them?
And if you look at all, we made that point to our team too. If you look at all their games going back into late January, they've been dominating teams at home. So it's a really scary road game for us. They struggled early in the year, and I don't have an answer for I don't know what was going on over there, but I know they're not struggling right now. They're playing as good basketball as anybody in the SEC with what, especially at home, with what you look at what they're doing. If you look at Tyree's numbers, I mean he's been crushing it. He's averaging, I think, 30 in his last 5 games. So we've got our hands full with him. We are fortunate that we do have Herb available to guard him. We'd like to kind of rotate matchups, whether it's Herb, Petty, Beetle, Kyra, Shaq, whoever it may be, see who's doing a better job on him, and hopefully let them ride with him a little bit. But yeah, they're a really good team right now. I mean, Kermit got Coach of the Year last year. He knows what he's doing. They've got their whatever the issues that they had early in the year why they lost. It seems like they got them all figured out by now.
You mentioned after the last game that you took a lot of it on you, a lot of responsibility on the coaching staff, that the coaching staff has to get better. Have you had to reassess maybe how you approach not just coaching, but maybe teaching, getting the kids to play a certain way or the way you want to?
Well, yeah, I think it's more, we were hoping that you didn't have to play Herb and JD, Herb and Galen, get in the game, and it dictates that you kind of have to. So we didn't have, we thought we had a good enough game plan to maybe play them guys together, and then you get flustered on offense because stuff's not working well. And with the way A&M guarded, we really didn't have a great, if the ball's out of Kyra's hands, we need a better game plan. So, we've really tried to look at how Ole Miss, they got the 1-3-1 they play a lot, kind of morphs into a 2-3. They got some 2-3 they throw at you and some man. We have to do a better job getting them ready on our offensive side of the ball. Our defensive side of the ball, I think, came down to more of an effort thing, in my opinion. And that's on the coaching staff. I mean, if they're not giving you the effort they need, they got to look and see how you're motivating them to come ready to play, because we didn't come ready to play. The first 4 minutes was bad, and the last 4 minutes was even worse. So we've got to somehow make them understand the importance of playing 40 minutes. And, part of it's learning your crew. I've been with them now almost a full year, but I'm still learning them. They're learning me, and I got to do a better job getting them motivated to play a little bit harder. So hopefully we did a better job of that over these last couple of days, and hopefully they come with a lot better effort, start the Ole Miss game than we did against A&M.
Let's do another 1 or 2 questions, guys.
Is there a situation where they had to learn the system, learn kind of how you did things, and do you feel like there's hit a plateau with maybe that process, or is there still room to grow kind of thing?
And there's always room to grow. I don't think we've plateaued any of the process. I think there's a steeper improvement curve maybe once they kind of, you know, so I don't want to say like you flip the switch because it never really works. So but there came a time there where I really felt like we were clicking. I think it had more to do with getting healthy. You know, once Herb got healthy, you know, we won. January was great. Into December, January we were starting to look a lot better. And then obviously Herb going down put a big damper in that. And that's where we had to kind of do a better job reevaluating what we had, what we could do, what we needed to do. We probably, in hindsight, should have put a huge point of emphasis on our defense, knowing how big Herb was, and kind of just kept doing what we do and telling guys they had to step up before we kind of dropped those back-to-back home games. We kind of went in and did a defensive boot camp. Well, hindsight, maybe I should have done that the day after Herb went out. So, you know, I don't think we necessarily plateaued. I think and again, you don't want to use injuries as an excuse. Everybody's got injuries throughout the course of the year, but some of the injuries we've had have been a little bit more damaging to what we've been trying to do with and how we were playing. And I think just adjusting to playing. I mean, Herb, I think he's still leading. He may still be leading the SEC in assist turnover ratio. I'm not sure he was before he got hurt. So for him to be playing as well as he was offensively was really helping us out offensively, and obviously his defensive play speaks for itself. But I think more of it was that, and we just got to do a better job getting them adjusted to playing with Herb as he is now, without being able to do all the playmaking that he was able to do before.
All right,
Is
thank
he,
you guys.
is he at the same
Herb?
cast level for this
Yeah,
game?
he's the same one in this game, and then we're going to try to get him a reduced cast starting next week. But he's the exact same one he had against A&M. So.
Thanks.